Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Schmidt Lavelle. My name is Tom Lavelle, and as always, I'm accompanied by Mr. Timothy
Hey,
Schmidt.
hey, no Arsenio Hall this week. We're just sticking with a regular, normal old hello.
I think a heyo is actually Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon, isn't it?
No, I think Ed McMahon is doesn't he do the whole $1 million giveaway like Publishers Clearinghouse? Hello, my name is Ed McMahon.
Yeah, wasn't he on the Johnny Carson show?
I don't know.
Either way, welcome to another episode of Schmidt Lavelle. First and foremost, we like to say this at the beginning of every episode. We appreciate you listening. We love you. Thank you for listening. Followers going up yet again this week. Views are up. Everything's up, 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 up. And we can't do it without you. Thank you out there, the people that listen, the people that interact, and are just along this ride of Schmidt Lavelle that we put out, this content that we've been putting out, the show of all shows. And now's the time. If you're not doing it, pause. Go give us a follow. Go give us a subscribe, particularly on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. If you're not already following us on Instagram, I feel like that's the best place to get our shorts and to get our little clips from each week's episode. We're both on Twitter. Follow us, TikTok. We're available on everything. Really get into what is the brand Schmidt and Lavelle. You're going to love it. New episodes every week, and we love you. All right, a lot to cover this week. First thing, let's cover some comments
Hold
from
on,
Mr.
Tom.
Yo. Yes, go ahead.
Before we go to comments, there was some complaints about our
Stat Girl,
cover.
specifically from Stat Girl, and it was look, we like to get feedback on the show, and it's not always going to be positive. We're big boys, we get it, and we can take it. That's fine. But there was several complaints that the episodes aren't funny. That I've been hearing stuff from some rumblings. We're wasting our time. This is just, this isn't how you get followers. I would do this, I would do that. And what I have to say to all of that is thank you for listening. We appreciate you listening. We love you. And maybe we can bring a little bit more of a fun element to this week's episode. We always try to bring it. We've been putting out episodes every week, and maybe sometimes we get lost in the shuffle of trying to put out a show that to remember, hey, let's keep it a little light. Let's keep it a little zany. Let's keep it a little boom, boom, bang, boom, bing.
Little cookie, little quirky.
Little cook,
Uh,
cook. My name is Coco and I swing. You know what I'm
right, stuff
talking
like
about.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little surprised. I was a little caught off guard. She said we go long winded on the comments, and maybe there's some validity to that, Tom. And um, Stat Girl, she has an axe to grind. I believe. I believe that she's not happy with her status on the show. She feels that she deserves some sort of platform. I believe in the hour long window that we have here in
Right.
in our podcast world that we do, and not sure if she's earned it yet, Tom. And I'll stick by that. And I would hope that she just brings more to the table than just complaints.
Right. And right now I'm gonna put out, it's just almost like a GoFundMe for the Schmidt and Lavelle show. See, what I promised Stat Girl is once we got to 1,000 followers on Instagram, she would then be allowed to come onto the show. And she has helped. She asks people to follow the show, and we appreciate that. So if you want to help out Stat Girl and get her onto the show, and you're not already doing it, go to Instagram and give us a follow. Tell your friends, hey, go to Schmidt Lavelle on Instagram, give us a follow. That's where you get all our shorts, all our links, everything's on there, and you really get to see the funny stuff that we get to put out. Thousands of views with every clip now, which is pretty cool. Our views have really gone up, which is exciting for us. And you can help her out and possibly get her on the show. There are some rumblings that if she's on the show, our viewers will go up. She's a pretty young lady, and they say, what sells? Good-looking girls. Am I right? And
No,
neither of us are that.
I think it's sex sells, Tom.
You're right. But you know
Right.
what I'm saying. People want to look at hot chicks. And well, I said, well, what is she going to do? We're not going to have her on here in a bikini. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to be on the show,
like every 10 minutes we should have her come out with a card, like
Yeah.
10
Next
minutes into the
topic.
show. Like, let's keep
Yeah,
moving.
yeah, yeah.
I would take it one step further, Tom, and I would say that if you want to contribute to the show and you want to get us to a thousand followers, maybe you can replace that girl. Like, hey, maybe you take her position. Maybe you have more to offer to the show than Stat Girl because she's only got us about 18 followers, I think, in the last 3 months. So if you can bring more to the table, I would say we're open to replacing Stat Girl.
Ah, the first one to get us to 1,000.
Yeah.
Ah, we'll see. You know what? If you do give us a follow, tell them to comment, like leave us a DM. Hey, this is from so and so. And whoever gets us the most follows will be our first guest on the show. What a
How
prize!
about that?
Amazing. Amazing prize we just put out there. If you get someone to follow the show, have them put your name in the comments. The first one to do that gets free ticket to WrestleMania. No, wait, hold on a second. What's going on here?
Why don't we give him a ticket to Royal Rumble on January
Yes, on
27th?
January 27th at Graham's Pub. All right, let's get to the comments, and we'll try not to take too long on these, Stat Girl. From He Stiff, we'll always start with him. He Stiff, love the Anchorman sign off. Go Birds. Timmy, a Anchorman sign off from you last week. Traditionally, you had been doing the Captain Hook sign off. We shared our Captain Hook video on our story today, and you decided to be switching it up, I guess, from show to show now.
Yeah, I'm just broaden my horizons there, Tom. Hopefully people make it to the end of the show so they can hear the diversity that I bring to the table in terms of culture, movie
Mm.
culture, because we're gonna be throwing some doozies out there at the end of each show.
So from W Tommy 5, you guys are pure entertainment. Hope you guys blow up, Holmes. I think Monday Night Football is next for these effers. He
Oh,
said it all, but I try to not use foul language on the show because there's some sort of algorithm that says that if you use foul language, particularly in the first 5 minutes, they try to cut you off on the YouTube. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm trying to hold back. All right.
little known fact about that individual that commented. He is part of the 5 Foot Club, the 5FC. It's a little known club going around the surrounding areas with individuals that are either 5'5" and below.
Really?
Hmm.
Stat Girl could be on that list.
I think
So
it's just for men.
just for men. What a club to be in. Sounds like pretty awesome time. All right. Let's get to JJ Aquinto. Now, this is from our Moriarty's wing review video. Thousands of views on that video. People love our wing reviews, and we love that you love them. JJ Aquinto, one of my
Jay,
favorite. What?
it's actually Jay Jaquinto.
Oh, Jay Jaquinto. Sorry.
Hmm.
Jay Jaquinto. One of my favorites. My aunt and I go there before we go to Broad Street Theater, referring to Moriarty's. From Jim Barnhart 5874, he says, great review, just missing the price point. So I think we maybe will try to mention, okay, they cost this much. I believe it was around $15 for the wings
Well,
at
you did
Moriarty's.
capture the menu before
I
you went
told him
in.
that. Actually, I saw him and I said, "Well, I do show a picture of the menu and the prices there, but when we do our stand in front review, we don't necessarily have the price there. So it was $15. I would say this, I don't think we're going to mention the price point too much unless it's like
like
astronomically like one way or the other. If it's
like
really
the
cheap, I'll be like, "What?" But
like
the
the
boat
boathouse.
Yes, exactly.
Correct.
And then from Franklin Parnell, one of my favorite spots to get wings pre-COVID. Hope you enjoyed them. I'm curious what that means. Does that mean that they were good before COVID? Does that mean he hasn't gone back since COVID? Or like, I don't understand what exactly that means.
I would probably assume that he hasn't been back since COVID.
Does that mean like, does he not go out anymore? He just hasn't gone back.
I actually don't think he lives in the area anymore.
He moved.
I believe so.
All right. All right. So, Timmy, I want to talk about Moriarty's real quick and our experience there. first and foremost, when we walked into that place, I was like, the outside looks cool. It's painted nicely. It's done well in that blue color. Looks like a cool spot. And you walk in, and it is awesome. Like an old school, like Irish, English pub. I don't know. I'm assuming it's Irish. They had the stained glass chandeliers hanging there, the old
Mhm.
mugs along the bar top. The bartender was telling us was this handmade that they brought in piece by piece. They had playbills from all the theater shows. The theater's right there, as one of our listeners mentioned.
Mhm.
All on the top, they had, just everything like just a really cool setting. A bar like would be awesome for like a couple boys to hang out. You bring a date there would be awesome. It's just like a really cool spot.
Yeah, it's located right there at 12th. I believe it's 12th and Walnut, right across the street from the theater. And this is a place that my old boss swore by. He said, dude, he had this as his number one wing spot. He goes, look, dude, this place is the undisputed best wing in the city. And I've been there a few times before. It's been a while since I've been in Moriarty's, but to your point, again, the decor, the inside, just the vibe in that place is really, really cool. If you ever been to Ireland and you've been into an Irish pub, I think I said this on the review, it has that same feel to it. Very homey. And it has that old English Irish like style of menu, right? Like that. I think they
Right.
had like the bangers and the mash and stuff
Shepherd's
like that.
pie. Yeah.
Shepherd's pie. So really just like cool vibes when you get in there, you sit down, they have Guinness on tap.
Well,
It's
that was something I
yeah.
wanted to talk about, Timmy. We both walked in and, not that it was cold, it was a cooler day. It's a winter day. We walk in and it has that vibe, English, Irish setting. And you ordered a Guinness. I come in, I see that, and I say, this is a perfect spot. I wasn't thinking about getting a Guinness, but as soon as you're in there, it's like, you have to order a Guinness.
Hmm.
Now, I will say this, and for all the Guinness snobs out there, the Guinness was not poured correctly, first of all.
Ooh.
Second of all, when I got a refill on my Guinness, the same glass was used, and the foam that was at the bottom, the head that was at the bottom, just came up to the top and was sitting on top. No one likes old head. Am I right?
Old
No one likes
he
old head, right?
it's like seafoam,
That
like
should be a
sitting on
t-shirt. No one likes old head.
no. Yeah,
Ancient
I
head.
look, you pay attention to that stuff more than I do. Did not notice it until you mentioned it to me. It's a shame because I know how Guinness is poured. I've been to Dublin. I've seen the professional pour over there, and I know people go over there to actually like train. Um, but yeah, unfortunate. But
And I will say this too, that it wasn't like it was super packed that the correct pour could not have been done, right? Like we did come in an odd hour. It wasn't like a happy hours, right? Kind of before that, in that dead time that typically bars and restaurants will have. But it wasn't like we had a full bar and the bartender's running around doing this and that
mm,
and just wanted to get the drink back to me. You know what I
right,
mean? So it
yeah,
was kind of just like, man, like, just a little nugget there wanted to
it
throw in.
kind of sound like a Guinness snob yourself.
You know what I might be? That's okay. Well, you know what? I pour them every day, and I would not do that to somebody. I would
Okay.
not do, every single day, and then it's more dishes, it's more work, it's more this and that, whatever. But hey, I
So
do it. And if I'm
so
doing it,
listen, I enjoyed the beer. It was fine to me. If you have your preference and that's the way you want your Guinness poured, then maybe that's not the place for you. But we were there, Tom, for the wings.
correct. And
And
the wings, well, you go ahead. Sorry.
no, I mean, look, I like you had them before. Why don't you take the lead since like you were a first timer? So
You
why
want me
don't you?
because okay. So the first time we get them, we ordered the original buffalo, their original sauce, I think it was called, the house sauce or whatever.
Mhm.
And then we ordered the sweet Thai chili, something like that, a Thai
Yeah,
chili sauce.
Thai chili. Yep.
And so the wings come out and she forgot our fries, but that's not a big deal. So the wings come out and the look, the presentation was very nice. If you go look at our video on IG and the pictures on our YouTube thumbnail and everything, the picture of the wings, I mean, the big thing for us was it was a whole wing, Tim. And I don't know if it's because, your boss had talked up these wings so much. You had them. The place looked so cool. I was really like, man, these are probably going to be top shelf wings here. And I was disappointed. I was disappointed by the wing. I think that a whole wing is very difficult to manage. I think you'd agree. And I feel like when you cook the whole wing, kind of right around where the break happens, I feel is a little like, I don't want to say soggy, but it doesn't get that crisp that it should have. The drum was crispy and like the wing, but like that little like the cartilage area there where it's like where the bend is was a
Yeah.
little like it wasn't crisp. And I feel like, man, that kind of like threw me for a loop. Very tasty, very good. And I think your grading as far as the John Runyon was right on,
Yeah.
and he's number 69, so maybe a 6.9 for me. I don't know. John Runyon.
So to your point, the the full wing I am completely out on.
Me too.
And it for me, it's like, all right, let's take this into consideration in terms of eating wings. All right. I love wings. I love wings. Like, this is why we're doing this. I'm very passionate about wings. Um, if I could eat them every goddamn day, I would. And thank you to my uncle Fran, who really introduced me to wings down in Ocean City, Maryland, all those years ago, and I really got fully into them since then as a kid. But this wing, the full wing, you have to do all the work. In my opinion, I feel like it's laziness on the kitchen side for not actually cutting them. Like, it's everyone has this whole thing. Are you a drum guy or are you a flat guy, right? Which one do you prefer? I don't discriminate against a wing. But now I'm going to start discriminating against a full wing, because you give me a full wing, I'm not eating it. I'm out. You know why? It's too much work for me now as the customer to actually break the wing apart. Because you know what? That wing that you have has probably a bunch of sauce on it. So then I have to get my hands completely dirty. Not that they're not going to get dirty anymore. You already know what you're getting yourself into in terms of, eating wings, right? You're not bringing a date.
But this is
You're not
times
going.
this is times 10, Tim.
This is
I
this
am
is
never covered in
yeah,
sauce like we
yeah.
were in Moriarty's. I'm sorry. It was all over us. We took that picture of you. I mean, it was a crime scene. It was
It,
like, what the hell is going on here? And is it laziness or like I think they try to pass it off like, oh, it's presentation. And presentation is important. I know it's not so much, but like it is important and it looked pretty on the plate, okay? But boom, you cut them, and I know it's a pain in the ass. You get the wings, you pull apart, you cut it, you take off the tail, and then you have your wings. That's how you do it. It's just it makes it more convenient for that'd be like them giving us shrimp scampi and the shrimp isn't peeled in the sauce. You know what I mean? It's like we got to peel the shrimp before we can eat it in the. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
you got
yeah,
to cut them.
yeah. It's that was like the frustrating thing for me. Um, Now taking all that out and judging them on basically just the wing itself. After I finally got all the sauce out of my eyes,
Yeah,
off
sprayed
my
down, wet
got the hose
naps.
down. Yeah. And I broke the wing apart, and I had the drum and I had the flat. I thought it was a very, very good wing. I thought the sauce was really good. The Thai chili wing was a little different. It just, like, the sauce was like so sticky, dude. It was just out of control. Like, that was really one of the bigger
Seemed like a
drawbacks.
generic sauce to me too. Seemed just like a
Yeah.
store-bought sauce.
Yeah, but like in terms of just like the taste, the flavor, the cook on those wings, on the traditional buffalo wings, I thought were really good, which is why I gave them the John Runyon score. So again, just a refresher, we were asked to come up with a way of scoring these wings, and we got the idea from our listener. I forget what it is, Obi-Wan
Obi
Kana,
Nam Kenobi.
Kenobi,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I actually was texting with him back and forth, and he said, like, hey man, like, this is how I kind of see it too. So like, we're gonna adapt that scoring system. So any Philadelphia sports player, and we're going to look at their career and we're going to compare the wings to basically a Philadelphia sports athlete's career. And I
Right.
felt like it was a John Runyon type wing. John Runyon was very good for a long period of time, he was a lineman into the trenches. He wasn't like a Hall of Famer or anything like that, but he was very good. And when you're a lineman, you get messy down there in the trenches, Tom. And
Yeah.
and it just was just too much work for me. Like I don't want to be on the offensive line,
No.
So
No.
my grading was John Runyon on this wing. It
Yeah,
was
and I
good.
had to
It
go
was
with you on
good.
that one. Perfect
Yeah,
rating, I think.
it just wasn't something that I'm going to continue to go back. Like if I want wings, I don't want to work that hard for wings. I want to eat them. I'm
Right.
done with them. I don't want to have to break them apart or anything like that. Just let me
Well,
eat
when you
them and
think
enjoy.
about John Runyon, like you're saying, you're thinking, man, he was a good player. He was. You remember when he did this? Remember when he used to fall on people in the pile and
Uh,
hit that extra jab? He was just like that scrappy kind of messy player, but he's solid player, good player. It's not like sometime one that you're thinking like all-time Eagles. You're gonna say, well, what about John Runyon? But like
yeah,
when his name's brought up, you're like, oh yeah, that's good. And that's kind of how the wing at Moriarty's was. Oh yeah. It's a good wings. It's messy, it's a classic spot, but I would say it's a good spot. Definitely go there and check out the place though. Like I
yeah.
really did like that place.
I told you at the end, I felt like I was in a boxing match, and after every wing, I had to retreat to my corner to get like tailed down, and like
Yeah, right.
it was such a mess. And again, we get it. Wings are messy, but like, I
The
mean,
bartender
just
even had a line for us. She knew, see, that's the tell right there. She had that line ready to go. Well, I used to watch Pete and Pete, and there was somebody say, "Well, if it's messy, you know it's messy. That's what makes it great." And it's like, yeah, okay. How many people do you tell that to a week that complain about how fucking messy these wings are? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I didn't expect to have a sauce fight with my partner here in the middle of
Yeah,
like lunchtime. Like it was ridiculous, dude.
yeah.
So
But as we're messing around here, please go check out the place. Like we said, really cool spot. If you're going downtown, I would highly recommend that place before you're going to the theater or whatever it is that's
bring a
around
bib.
that area. Bring a bib, bring your own wet naps, and they have them there. They'll take care of you. All right. Some more comments now. Let's get to from our Storm of the Century video from Lovey J's LMFAO. You guys crack me up.
Hmm.
Fun video. We had a lot of fun with that. The bar was involved. We were just trying to make something like, like, let's do. And you might get some more weather reviews from Schmidt Lavelle just because, hey, the weather's funny and it's cool to see us out in the elements. But this is the comment that I want to get to now, Timmy, that really raised my eyebrows. I was like, what's going on? So from John Cardona 505. It's really sad when there are people around the world that are dying, suffering because of storms, Mother Nature, and your Lord God Jesus Christ. I'm glad that a lot of people are taking things as a joke, but when the time comes, we'll see who's the one laughing and who are the ones begging and crying. What? I was like,
Some,
dude, I just got hit in the face with an order of fries. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? In no way are we making fun of anyone that has suffered a natural disaster tragedy across the world. Like, what are you talking about? It was windy and rainy and we were just doing something goofy. Like, come on, dude, get a grip.
I disagree, Tom. I feel like we were going directly at those individuals that have suffered for all those years
That's the
through
yin and yang of Schmidt and
natural.
Lavelle.
It's like what?
Yeah, right.
What
This
is
one's
going?
for you, Haiti.
Is he a follower of the show?
He follows us. Yeah. I mean, I don't know I don't know if maybe he was having a day. Sometimes these religious people,
He
they get
probably,
like,
he probably removed that Jesus fish from your car.
yeah. He probably got some flooding in his basement and was just like furious, like, you guys don't, you'll understand when,
Big,
you're
he's a
going
big,
through it.
he's a big Noah's Ark guy. You know?
Yeah. So That's what's funny with this comment is it's going to bring us to our next topic. Timmy, right now, I'd like you to rank the top 5 gods of all time. All right. Start with
Ooh,
your number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
number 5, God Sham God.
God, Sham God.
He's a basketball player, I think, for Georgetown Hoyas.
Oh, yeah. Number 4, Zeus. Well, hey, we're not here to offend anybody.
I'm
We're
going
just
number
having a
3, Yahweh. Yahweh's
Yahweh.
definitely up there.
Ooh.
It's got to be
Yahweh's a good one.
top 3,
What a
you know?
name. You know what I mean?
Eh.
And I don't, honestly, I'm getting scared now. I'm very superstitious with this stuff. I don't want to be sacrilegious and make fun of anyone's gods anymore because I'm afraid of the repercussions that we might get. Top 5
Okay.
gods next week on Schmidt and Lavelle. We're going to name the top 5 religions and what is the true best religion out there. What do you
My
think,
number,
Tim?
I'm in. I'm in. And then we should do best politicians all time too. After that, I'm going number one
Current
though.
politicians, living politicians.
I'm going number one. God has to be Gozar the Gozerian from Ghostbusters.
Oh, wait, does
Solid.
Thor, what about Thor? Thor's a
He's God of Thunder.
God of Thunder.
He's
Thor's
up
pretty
there.
badass.
We
Shoot,
might have to flip flop then too.
yeah, Sham God might be out. All
Yes.
right, let's get to our next comment. Wait, did I already say this comment? All right, let's get to our next topic, Timmy. It's the big topic of the week. Honestly, I don't even want to pay. I don't even really. I'm not really happy we're even talking about this because I don't think they really deserve after the way they've played this second half of the
Oh
season,
man.
really the whole season, I don't really feel like they deserve like much of our time. All right. It was pathetic. I'm glad it's over with. See ya. Like that was a disgrace what was put out on the field. I don't know who to point the blame at. It seems like there's enough to go around. And it's like, get rid of the offensive coordinator, get rid of the defensive coordinator. Should our head coach be here? All these questions are going on right now. Is there turmoil in the locker room? Is there like, you know what? Figure it out, guys. You go figure it out because I'm sick of you.
So much bullshit leading up to this playoff game. And you just look, the fan inside you wants them to win, right? Like deep down,
Absolutely.
you're engaging into Monday Night Football again, like we complained about the schedule last week, but and you're like, man, I just maybe they got a chance to pull something off and be able to make a run like they did in 17, right? Or back in 2008, right? Like, but part of you in the back of your head like knows it's not likely. Like just the way everything was set up. Like the defense was failing miserably. Um and and the offense just was not in conjunction at all. Like they just were just so bad. It was just so bad. Everything was so bad leading up to this game. And you're like, maybe they'll put it together. Who knows?
Right. You just
And
hoped. You had this hope that maybe, because not only just with the Eagles and those runs in 08 and 17, like you talked about, there's been other teams that kind of limped into the playoffs and then for some reason got hot and made it happen. And like you're like, well, maybe we could do it. We had they did it last year. They were dominant, maybe, and that was just pathetic.
the one thing that gives you like the juice though is like when you watch Dallas get absolutely pummeled at home by the Packers, and you're just like I enjoyed watching that game more than I did watching the Eagles game.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I swear to God, in the last 8 weeks of the month, I enjoyed that game, the Dallas Cowboys game versus the Packers playoff game, more than any Eagles game, which is a shame. And that's a testament to what they were putting out in the field. Like the product just sucked. And the one thing I just Tom, I'm not going to get into X's and O's and break down the film like I was doing with my dad on the night of the game. He's like, "Can I just watch the game?" I'm like, "Dad, watch this play. Shut up." It's it's the answers just were not there, and it's not the offense just didn't. work whatsoever. Like they didn't have an answer to anything that the Buccaneers did throughout the entire game. There was no adjustments, there was nothing. And like the game plan was awful. Like your quarterback was just hurt last week, and you come out and throw the ball 35 times. You ran it like 4 times in the first half. Like it the just approach to a game, it makes no sense.
No.
And that goes back to the head coach. Like you're the one that's approving this game plan. You oversee everything. And that's the reason why like I come to my my judgment is like, hey, look, I see Nick Sirianni and I go, man, I didn't think you could fire this guy. But like from what happened after the Cowboys game to what where we're at this point, there was no answers for anything every single week, week in and week out. And he has to answer for that. So, and then like I had one other thing I have to add. So, look, they brought in a rookie defensive coordinator and a rookie offense coordinator. Brian Johnson had never been an offense coordinator in the NFL. And Sean Desai had never been a defensive coordinator in the NFL. You were just at the Super Bowl last year, okay? And you decided to bring in rookie guys in those positions to lead
Mhm.
your offense and to lead your defense after being at the Super Bowl. So, what did you think? Like, it was just going to run the same way? Like, did you think it was just going to, hey, listen, like, I'm hiring these different guys, but look, we got the same players, similar players. It's going to work out. It's going to be fine. Well, guess what? It wasn't. And it was an absolute train wreck. It worked for 11 weeks, and then the entire NFL caught up to you guys, and you couldn't figure out how to fucking adjust. And you're sitting at home now, just like the Cowboys. You sit there, probably pointed and laughed and watch them get their asses beat. And now you have questions across the entire roster and in that locker room, and then Jason Kelsey's possibly walking away. It's all it's not falling apart. Like you have good pieces in place, but like you need the right people to do their job. And Nick Sirianni got it right in the first year. He picked Jonathan Gannon and he picked Shane Steichen, and they were pretty decent coordinators if you're looking at it from, yeah, obviously from Bird's view right now. And you got, I mean, I don't, it seems like they're bringing him back, and he's going to have an opportunity to bring either fire his coordinators and bring in other people or stick with the same shit. And if you stick with the same shit, this fan base will rebel. And the first crack you see next season, they're going to ask for his job just like they're doing already. So that's all I have to say. Sorry about being long winded.
No. Hey, I get it. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to say. And, before last week, before this past week, I was the same way. This guy, I think, deserves another shot. 3 playoff appearances in a row, a Super Bowl appearance. But man, that second half of the season was so bad that you're thinking, is this what we really have here? Maybe that's the paranoid Philadelphia fan, and it's just the way
Just
we are.
3 years. He's been in the playoffs 3 years in a
Yeah.
row. He went to the Super Bowl last year. I mean, you have to give that guy some rope, I guess. But I mean, he hasn't shown that he could fix something, right? Like it's been smooth sailing for him until this year, and then all of a sudden,
Well, we'll
it's
see
like,
what he's really made of, and
yeah,
a couple key injuries and stuff like that. Our linebacking core was depleted. I forget the name of the linebacker we lost, but it was right
Kobe
after
Dean.
Kobe Dean. That was week 10, I believe we lost him, and it's like,
He was hurt all year. Like the guy's been hurt his entire career. They drafted him. They think he was going to just step in and fill a void, and he just hasn't. He just hasn't. And the guys they kept on shuffling in, they just have not filled a void.
yeah.
Linebacker play has been such a big issue, but like the biggest issue, in my opinion, is the defensive line. Like the defensive line just was so shit this year. Like you didn't get the production from Josh Sweat. Uh, Jordan Davis is basically a bust at this moment right now. Like he was supposed to be your big pick from 2 years ago, and he's barely developed at all. Um, I mean, Hassan Reddick was decent this year, but he got you 10 sacks. He kind of underperformed, in my opinion. Like he just wasn't as fierce off the edge as he was last year, and it's a shame. But I mean, that's got to be better. That's what you're investing all your money in is the defensive line and the offensive line. That's where you have to be good. And the offensive line was shit too in the playoff game. But
Oh, awful.
I'm I
What
look,
do you think about bubble screens, Tim?
dude. There was a stat out there that someone put out there, and I saw it on Twitter, and then I saw it on He Stiff's Facebook wall. It was like the Eagles ran 690 screens this year for negative 26 yards. And the comments underneath this thing were like just insane. Tom,
We lost 26 yards on the screens for the total of this year.
690 plays minus 26 yards. Tom,
Wow.
Tom. So again, someone put that out there as a joke.
Oh. Okay.
Tom, Tom, they played 17 games.
Yeah.
That would mean they ran 40 screens a game.
Oh,
So it,
I just listened to the last stat, the negative yards. I was like, we lost
it's
yards on this on the
right.
screens.
And like people were freaking out about it. It's like, listen, yeah, we get it. The screens were bad, but like people were going like, "Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Like look at this." Like just misinformation, but at the same time it is kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So let's move on. Timmy, after we had our wing night, we we parted ways and I was headed out that night. I was going to the Sixers game. I went to what was called the Assembly Room. I've got Assembly Room tickets. Have you been to the Assembly Room at the Wells Fargo Center yet?
Yeah, it's up in the it's all the way up top. Like that's where you have to put your own seat together, right?
Yeah. You go up and
You assemble it.
you assemble it, right? Well, you pick your own. It's more of like I want to say like a loungy area, you know. They had like some leather seats there. There's TVs all along the walls. It's basically the whole perimeter of the top floor, and they had some front row there. Really cool spot. If you haven't done that, for 50 bucks, you know, you get your face value ticket. You can go to a Flyers game or a Sixers game or whatever. And it's a fun thing to do, and I enjoyed it, and I'm just kind of putting that out there for people that are listening. If you haven't done it and you say you got a group going down, you don't know what to do, it's fine for kids. It's not as busy as the other places in the stadium, and the bathrooms are more accessible, the bars more accessible. Everything's right there for you to grab whatever it is you want. There's high top tables, lounge seats, whatever. And I really thought it was cool. So me and a group went there. It was my buddy's 40th birthday. Um, I didn't pass out on the side of the building this time. After that, they were like, "What are we gonna do?" We went to this place called Yakitori Boy. Have you ever heard of Yakitori Boy, Tim?
I have.
Have you ever been to Yakitori Boy?
It looks sounds like Tom, you went in for some old fashioned.
Oh boy,
Did you go in for some singing? Some little Asian karaoke there, Tom?
little karaoke, as they say in Japan.
Yeah.
Karaoke. It is funny. That is how you pronounce it over in Japan. It's karaoke, and it comes over to the States and it's karaoke. But it's a karaoke bar. For
Hmm.
those out there listening, they have the big screens, a microphone. They have someone that like kind of DJs the whole thing. They have like a club like atmosphere up there. There's a cover charge to get in. Yada yada yada. We went in and we were gonna have fun no matter what we were doing. I don't know whose idea it was to go there, but we end up getting in there and it's like scene of karaoke and it's a bizarre world, the karaoke scene. Have you ever gotten a chance to look at that? Have you ever sung karaoke, Tim?
Tom, I love karaoke.
Do you?
A big karaoke guy.
No, you're not.
I am so in on karaoke. All
Do
right,
you have
karaoke.
a good go-to song?
Yeah, oh yeah.
What's your go-to song?
Well, we'll get to that. Let's just tell me the vibe. Give me like I know you have your own room. Did you get
So
your own room,
they had no, we didn't get our own
or did
room.
you
They
go out into the community room? Did you go
We
to
were
the
in the
community?
community. We were there. We were in the
Oh,
community. That costs you 10 bucks. They have like a bottle service like area like a couple steps above where like people go and they sing. And what ended up happening was there was a party of I think 10 nurses that showed up, right? Yeah.
Hello, nurse.
Yeah, right. And so there was one girl that we were calling the big girl. She was very tall, and there was green dress and black dress. And black dress was like they were all a little zany, and black dress was really crazy, and green dress was semi crazy. And so they were doing all this thing, and they're going around, they're harassing kind of the guys in our group and this and that. And you could tell some of them were out for blood. You know what I mean? They were trying to go home with something, and it was like, man, this is pretty crazy. But the overall vibe, it was a fun place. I did enjoy. I sang a couple songs. Uh, I don't know. I don't go there very often, but I will say that I did do fairly well with the song that I did sing. I did "You Got It Bad" by Usher. You ever hear that song, Tim?
What?
Oh yeah,
You got it bad,
"You
huh?
Got It Bad." A love song really brings the crowd together. I know that from experience. And at the I've heard songs over the years at the jukebox, and ones, if you read the crowd, that was one, and it hit. And even the DJ was loving my selection at that point.
I
One
got it.
point I got a woo from
Can
her,
we
and like,
can we get a sample here?
oh man, okay, wait. When you feel it in your body, you found somebody who makes you change your ways, like hanging with you cool. So you act
Yeah.
like you're ready, but you don't really know. And everything in your past, you wanna let it go. I've been there, done it, hooked around.
Messed around.
After all that, this is what I found. Every one of y'all is just like me. It's too bad that you can't see that you got it bad.
You got it bad.
Hey,
Yeah. That's
and
not
you
bad.
call, and you call right back. Flowers, cards, and candy. What a song. What a time. What a moment. Yakitori Boy. I mean, it was fun enough place. I wouldn't be
So
going up on the balcony. Like, I guess if you're going to be spending a certain amount of money already and you know that, but they do the whole thing at the club. They got like they put the light and like sparklers on this
uh,
bottle and they carry it
uh,
out. It's like,
uh,
okay, I would be embarrassed. I'm like, just bring the bottle, please.
yeah. No, that was look, Yakitori Boy was a place that we used to go to phew, a handful of times back like in my 20s. Like that was like the thing.
How long's it been around?
It's a long time. It's been around a
Really?
lot. Oh yeah, that place is like right on
It's in
what's that? Like
Chinatown. That's all I
yeah,
know.
right near not Market. Shit, what is that? It's like right by the convention center. It's like right before the convention center. Anyway,
Okay.
but we used to go there a lot. Yeah, I'd probably say I've been there like anywhere between like 5 and 8 times, but like that's not where I like karaoke is a tough thing. You hit it on the head. Like you need to pick like a song, please, like a crowd pleaser song. You
Right.
can't just go up there and be an asshole and just like, dude, I remember I used to work at Castle Rocks, okay? And Castle Rocks on Wednesday nights had open karaoke night, the whole thing, right? And me and my buddy John Barron, we used to do Queen and we used to do Bohemian Rhapsody together. So I was working there as the doorman, but he would call me up and I would go up. We'd do like a whole Bohemian Rhapsody thing. And
Okay.
like the crowd loved it, dude. It was nuts. But then you had this dude who would show up every night, every Wednesday night, and his name was the Hammer. He
I
asked to
know
be,
exactly who you're talking about.
are you serious?
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about because we've done karaoke and he usually sings like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that,
Are
I
you
think.
serious? You
I
know about
swear
the
to God,
Hammer?
I know who Hammer is. I know his real name too. Do you know
I
who his
don't. Let's not
Okay.
put it
Well, I don't
out
want to
there.
put it out there, but
Yeah.
I'm aware of the Hammer.
So he would
It's
call.
not
He would
unusual to be loved. Like he would sing shit like that.
no. So like back in the day, he would go in there and he would sing Prince Kiss. And it was like, right, what what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? What exactly? Why are you singing this song? Like,
You
it was,
gotta, for the people out there listening, Hammer he's probably right now, he's probably mid 50s, I would say, right? And he's got like dark black hair that he slicks
yeah,
back, and kind of like almost like I guess like an Italian guy, I would say, but like just a strange cat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And what's funny is not only have he come when we've done karaoke at our bar, I Adobe used to do karaoke, and I would
Well,
see him at Adobe singing karaoke, and I remember the one time he was there, and I knew him, and he was like, there was one lady that was, and he was like so mad that she was like ruining karaoke. You know what I mean? It's like I was like, all right, Hammer, chill,
yeah.
dude.
So my greatest performance of all time was at the Adobe. You just brought that up. Perfect segue.
Oh boy.
So we were there on, I think Saturday night was karaoke night at the Adobe. And for the listeners, the Adobe Cafe is a like nice little Mexican restaurant that was in the neighborhood in Roxborough.
How
And they
dare
would
you?
have, and they would have
No,
what?
no. Go ahead.
They would have um karaoke every Saturday night and very popular.
It was
Uh
popular.
and people would go there and sing karaoke. It was a great time. And dude, I went there one night, and one of my favorite songs, one song that like in my mind I know I sing like pretty well was Stone Temple Pilots Plush.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, God, we say,
Yeah. On time to wait for
oh. So, dude, I
tomorrow to
grabbed the
find
mic
it. Yeah.
and I'm singing it up front, and I know the words. I don't need the prompter. I started working the crowd, dude, and I was hammering it out of my mind. I'm through the entire dining room. I'm walking around, well, now Friday, and I'm like putting mic in
Eating
people's
mozzarella
faces.
or eating nachos
It,
as you
it,
go.
it was a scene, man. I got done. I got a nice little pause, and that was it. But it was just like a moment. You walk off, you kind of like felt like a rock star. You're like, dude, I just fucking crushed that. And then like you look back at it, you're like, yeah, it wasn't that great. It's
Well,
probably
the worst is
terrible.
when you see video of it and you're like,
Yeah,
oh man, you think you're up there killing it, and you're like, I
yeah.
can't sing at all. Um,
Dude, I remember
Similar
one
thing
night.
happened to me, but go ahead.
No, I remember one other time. It was an ultimate fail. Incubus is one of my favorite bands. And
Really?
I was in a bar in Connecticut with our HR director at Red Bull. And we were like, let's go out and have a drink. So we were out having drinks, and then like one thing led to another. And I was starting to feel pretty good. And like she was brand new at her job. And I'm sitting there like I've been at the company for a while. And I'm like, I'm gonna sing. I think I'm gonna sing karaoke. And I went up and I requested Incubus Stellar.
Oh man, that's a difficult song to sing on karaoke. You're
Dude,
stellar, me in outer
yeah.
space.
I sang it in my head a million times. I know the song. Like
I will
easily.
hold you close if
Dude,
you're afraid of heights.
yeah. And
Yeah.
when you get on
I need
karaoke,
to.
it's the like you're unsure of the words again. Like there's times where you're just like
Hit us
and you're looking
with the end of it.
it just what's that?
Hit us with the like with like the big
Oh yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. 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 And meanwhile, I thought in the middle of the song they say rock, like I thought they say Roxanne, and it's just like,
Oh,
"Are you
Roxanne.
Stella?"
Yeah.
Like it's so different, and you're like, "Wait, that's." I found out like that's the word. I was so off, and she was like, I came back after I sang the song. I was an absolute train wreck. She was like, "Dude, that wasn't that great." I was like, I know. It was
Yeah.
terrible. I was
Yeah,
like, can we
it's
leave?
karaoke, baby. Like just relax, I'm just singing.
Yeah, but like karaoke can bring out the best and worst in people, but it seems like you guys had a good time down there.
We did. And I will say the one time, and not to brag, I was out, we were at you had a bachelor party and a karaoke at the bar. There was a lot of people in the bar. It was a packed place. People were getting up there singing whatever. And it was kind of a cool, but we didn't really have anything good. And then boom, my friend's like, Tom, you got to sing something. I said, all right, tell him my name, put this song on. Signs me up. I went up there and sang Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, Tim,
Mhm.
and I tore the house down. And
Look
so,
at this place.
yeah, yeah, isn't it? Look at this stuff. Look at this
Oh, look at this
stuff.
stuff.
Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm a girl who has everything?
Everything.
So I sing that song, and like every chick in the place is like singing along with, you know what I mean? It was like this whole thing, right? And after this, my buddies were like, dude, that was fucking awesome. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you just killed it. And they're like, who knew? Lavelle was up there singing, blah, blah, blah. So we come back and there's like the wedding, a couple months later, we're at the wedding and all the guys that like were in the wedding, everyone's like, dude, fucking karaoke. And my wife was like, what happened at karaoke? That every person is coming up to you like, you should have seen it. It was amazing. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know, but it was some sort of a magical moment.
Tom,
This magic moment.
I have this image of me. There's one song that I do really love. It's from the Dracula song by Jason what's his name?
Oh, Jason's Siegel.
Seagal. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Seagal.
Wait, wait, wait. The one where Dracula's lament?
Yeah, Dracula.
Yeah, I love that song.
And if I see Van Helsing, I swear that I will kill him.
I will slay him. Yeah, I love that.
Blood runs down his face.
And if I see Van Helsing, I swear to God, I will slay him.
Slay him.
Die, die, die.
Die, die, die.
I
I
can't.
got
What a line. I can't. Dude, one time. Oh my God. The one time I was sleeping and I was dreaming about I guess I was killing vampires. And I'm dreaming about killing vampires and I'm in bed and like I'm having this like very vivid dream and we're doing this and that. And I like roll over and I wake up, right? And I wake up and I open my eyes and my wife's there laying there and her eyes are open and I roll over and I see her and I just go, "Well, come to think of it, vampires are already dead." Like out of a deep sleep. And she was like, "What? What are you
Dude,
talking about?"
yeah, I love that song. I've been like practicing. I'm like, if I can learn how to play the piano, I can. It's getting kind of hard. Like things are gonna get better.
I can play the piano. Timmy, maybe that'll be a video we do one time. I'll play the piano and you sing the song.
Uh,
I'll learn the song, maybe. That'll be a video that goes. We'll get you dressed up as Dracula.
I would love it. I would
That would
love
be
it.
awesome. All right, Timmy, one more thing I want to talk about real quick. And they've been getting a lot of buzz lately, a lot of talk, and we were talking about them today. The Philadelphia Flyers. I'm super excited for this team. I love what they've been doing. 4 wins in a row. I believe we're in third place in our division, but just like a point or so behind. It seems like they're clicking. We feel like we want to go to more games. I'm excited in playoff hockey. So I guess what I want to talk about, what is the most superior fan viewing in-person experience when it comes to the 4 major sports?
Well, you're obviously leading with one of my favorites, because of the design of the show. Believe we do. We don't rehearse any of this, folks. We talk about it. We don't rehearse it. But I told Tom earlier that my favorite sporting event to watch live is easily hockey, and it's been that way for years. It's just, in my opinion, the element, the cold from the ice, the sound that you hear actually coming up from the ice. It's more of an intimate atmosphere because it's a smaller venue. And like one of my the first experiences ever watching the Flyers was at the Spectrum, which is regarded as one of the best venues to ever watch hockey, especially how imposing that crowd was. But hockey for me was one of my favorite sports to watch. Not growing up because I didn't really get into hockey until like I was 12 or 13. Um, and I just love I just love watching hockey, and I think we brought this up last week. I had my daughters down last time at the game, and they just really just embraced it more than you could possibly fathom, like at that game. And so, like hockey for me is one of the best sports to watch live.
Yeah, I love it. I don't think there is a better viewing experience in person than a playoff hockey game. And I've been to NFC championship games. I've been to NBA finals games. I've been to World Series games. By like a significant margin, the Flyers home playoff hockey games, especially when you get into those later rounds. I've been in the Eastern Conference Championship. I've never been to a Stanley Cup game. Man, it is intense from the moment they drop the puck. You're on the edge of your seat. The fans are like the most rabid fans you'll ever see in your life. Everything is big time, the back and forth. And when a goal is scored and the place goes banana, like it is just out of
Goes
this
what?
world. Bananas,
Yep.
a new word for Schmidt Lavelle. It goes, it's out of this world, and the whole experience. So I guess this is just, hey, if you're not paying attention to the Flyers, we might finally be getting playoff hockey back in Philadelphia after what, a 4-year drought. And
It's
because
been a
you
nice,
can't really count COVID because there were no fans when they played in the playoffs.
yeah. No, it's been a hiatus since the Flyers have been in the playoffs, and no one expected it this year, which is always it makes good for a year when like a team performs above expectations. And that's what the Flyers are doing. And it looks like they got some really decent players. Travis Konechny just got the captaincy, which every Flyers fan in the world will tell you is so important. Every hockey fan in the world will tell you is so important. Um, Look, they were playing fine without him being the captain. I'm sure that with wearing the C is gonna it's gonna go far with all the other players in the locker room, but it's just cool. Like Travis Konechny's your best player,
He's
probably
been the
actually.
unsaid captain. You know what I mean? He's been the captain,
Well,
but
Couturier doesn't seem that like vocal of a guy, but he's been gone for 2 years with his back injuries and stuff like that. But he's come back and he's playing at a high level. Konechny's playing incredibly well. We talked about some of the other guys that have played well. Owen Tippett has been playing
yeah, Tippett's been out
just
of his mind.
Farabee's had a couple goals in the last few weeks, or in the last couple games, but like they're just playing at a high level. You want to give credit to Tortorella, so be it. But I
Absolutely.
I would give credit to the guys that constructed this roster, in Danny Briere and Keith Jones, two guys that we highlighted at the end of last year as our unsung heroes of Philadelphia sports in 2023 because they really got this team back on track. Um, Look, not sure if it's going to lead to anything. I said in the beginning of the season, more than likely they're not going to make the playoffs. They're halfway through the season. They're in a playoff position right now. They're winning games. They're winning tight games. The power play starting to come around. It's
It's
like their
exciting.
goal. Yeah, it's exciting, and the goaltending has been really good this year. So we'll see where it plays out. But like again, I don't expect them to go crazy at the deadline, the trade deadline. But if they're gonna add a piece or two, so be it. But don't sell the farm. Don't mortgage your future for. Just let this roster play out, in my opinion. So just let it go, let it develop, and we'll see what happens.
Amen, Timmy. And you know what we got to do on the Schmidt Lavelle show? And this is what we're going to do. We're going to let it go. We're going to let it develop. We're going to see how it plays out. And we're grateful for you coming along the ride, the journey with us, and watching what we're having to do. We got new things planned for you this year. We've been doing a lot moving forward. Videos are up, views are up, followers are up, everything's up. And we can't do it without you. We appreciate you. We love you. New episodes every Thursday where we're talking everything from Philadelphia sports to dad life to karaoke. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If there's anything you'd like us to talk about, please send us a message, send us a DM, a text, whatever it is. Let us know what you'd like us to talk about. Wait, hold on a second, Tim. Timeout. Before we go any further, I did want to do something real quick. We talked about wings earlier, and maybe you could just pose the question. We're going to put a poll up on our Instagram and our feed, and the question's going to be, which do you prefer, the cut or whole wings? Now, when we're talking about the cut or whole wings, the mess that you get from eating a whole wing is that because some people are defending the whole wing, but you go ahead, maybe pose the question how you would like it for people to understand where this is coming from.
I just want to know if people prefer the wing cut. So do you prefer a drum and a flat, or do you prefer an entire wing, which is the drum and the flat together, and you have to do the work yourself? It's either one or the other. I'm not asking if you like the drum or the flat. Like everyone has their choice over those two. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like, would you prefer like an entire wing in itself? Like, would you prefer doing the work and eating it in that manner? Or would you like it cut for you so you can pick whether you like the drum or the flat?
Or would you like it like just because it's way easier to eat? You know what I mean? And it's so much more
Let's not
convenient and it
let's
makes the
not
thing so much better, that you can just grab a flat or you can grab a drum. You vote. Would you like to have it be way more difficult and eat a whole wing and have to tear it apart and get sauce all over yourself and be like a complete mess? Or would you prefer the other option of it cut for you and you can grab the wing and eat it and maybe just get a little sauce on yourself? It's up to you. We don't want to sway you in any way. You
Mm-mm.
please answer the poll. Which do you prefer?
I mean, you can prefer a psycho over a normal person, but I mean, that would just be simple to choose, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Psychoville, and I'm the mayor. I mean, clearly, I hope these people make the right decision. The thing is, I don't know if there's a ton of places that give you the whole wing. You know what I mean? They're usually always cut.
I mean, I would say 90% of the places that you go to get wings are all cut. The other 10%, Tom, cozy if you're Hannibal Lecter.
Dumb, right? The other place is dumb. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for Schmidt Lavelle. We love you. Please give us a follow, share, like, subscribe, all that stuff. New episodes every week. Timmy, what do you got to say to all the Schmidt and Lavelleites before we sign off?
Hi, I'm looking for Ray Finkel and a clean pair of shorts.
All right, we love you. Until next week, have yourselves a great weekend. Schmidt and Lavelle. My name's Tom Lavelle for Timothy Schmidt. We love you.
That kind of surgery can be done over the weekend.